we've made it through an entire week of XR Safety Week. This has been absolutely
Right?
amazing. I can hardly believe that we've made it to 5 p.m. already on a Friday. So just really quick, as a matter of introduction, hi everybody. I'm Matt Price. I'm the program director for XR Safety Week this week. I hope everybody had an amazing time. I know over the last couple of months as we were putting this together and getting speakers together, we had an incredible time just getting to know all the panelists and seeing what kind of content was going to come together. And then of course this week it just kind of all snowballs. And we get to see it actually live, and we're in the thick of it. So now we're able to kind of take a deep breath, step back and reflect on the week. And really amazing content. I mean, it really is hard to believe what we pulled off over this last week.
I have to thank everybody who came together to pull this off, and especially I want to thank all of the executives of XR Safety Initiative, April Boyd-Nerona, Marco Magnano, Marco, who also was a very key instrumental figure in getting the team together, Joshua Ellen Young, who was behind all of this production, and then most importantly, you, Matt, as the director of the XR Safety Week, interfacing with all the speakers diligently, respectfully, and just being very, very thoughtful and careful, considerate about the tracks that we created. Secondly, I want to thank all the track chairs. So for the first day, we had the track chair, Marco Magnano, who actually assembled the track for immersive journalism and storytelling. Then the next day, we had the diversity and inclusion track that was also handled by Sydney Sheldon from Google, as well as Noble Ackerson, who also gave us his own attribution about privacy. How should we think about privacy in the era of constant reality capture? So put together a very carefully thought out agenda on Diversity and Inclusion Day. Then we had Child Safety Focus Day, which I want to thank Valentino Migale, our medical XR advisor, and a very good ally and a friend, Becky Inkster, who is currently analyzing brain waves when people dance. What does the brain look like when it's on Dr. Dre? What does the brain look like when it's on Kanye West? It's like amazing kind of things she does. So she's a huge child safety advocate, put together a great agenda for children's safety. And then we came to medical XR. So I want to thank Ryan Cameron and Divya Chander, both of our medical XR advisors. And Ryan is actually a co-chair with me for the medical XR privacy and safety framework. They brought together an amazing agenda from NHS, Health Education England, that sponsored the entire track. And then we heard from people from NHS. We heard from people from various governing bodies, like some voices from even, regulators and stuff. So that was fantastic. And finally today with me, I want to thank Christina, who actually also put together this entire day's worth of agenda, this virtual citizenship forum, and then now as the chair of Metaverse Reality Check, gearing up to hold ourselves accountable and to hold everybody else accountable. Can't be overstated what a huge responsibility it is, but at the same time, we have been building and understanding this domain for over 2 years now, actually 3 years. So we are the, best equipped to potentially be that neutral entity who will help establish and build bridges across community, across regulators, across stakeholders. And then finally, I want to thank all of you who stuck around with us and took the little extra effort to even jump into virtual reality and be here present with us in extended reality. So thank you so much, whoever has contributed. And Matt, I'm going to pass it on to you for our sponsors and whoever else that we have been, we are, indebted to making all this possible.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I just have to say, I got to echo everything that Kavya said. As a media psychologist and a presence researcher, this is almost like living in an experiment for me to be able to see everybody that did this embodiment, took the chance and created agency to come into VR space like this and participate. And it's felt so natural, right? So just seeing people distance themselves, be respectful and kind to everybody else. The number of events we had, everybody was so well together, treating it like a very normal conference. It was just terrific to see, how it all came together. So, but yeah, Kavya, we definitely want to thank our sponsors. Our headline sponsor, Reality Labs, were terrific. We had a representative here this afternoon during the very first virtual Citizens Forum, and to have all the other wonderful speakers with them to be able to participate was terrific. Okay, the next slide. Our platinum sponsors, HP, our gold sponsors, Helium and Trip. Thank you so much to them. They're very generous, both with their time and resources to help us put this event on. Without all of these sponsors, we wouldn't be able to put on a week like this, especially a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday event.
And there are just something that I want to point out, Matt. On this slide, you see HP, Helium, and Trip. I want to point out that these sponsorships, all of these sponsorships came through female leadership. So Joanna Popper at HP helped us broker this kind of a conversation with their organization, and then even open multitude of avenues to collaborate with HP. So we're going to continue that collaboration. Talk about Helium. I still remember the first day I gave my presentation in 2019, and then Sarah Hill, who is the CEO of Helium, came about and asked, hey, what should we do to protect data? And she still remains as a huge ally. Another female in the space who really cares about safety and privacy. And finally, Trip, that is Nonia, and she was another one of those advocates. The moment she heard XR Safety Week is happening, she's like, how can I help? And they are a startup, but yet they took the time and effort to provide us some sort of a financial support. So I'm really thankful to these female leaders who understand and advocate for the value of safety.
Yeah, and I'll say another thing to keep in mind too, we put this whole event together basically in 2 months. So if you know anything about putting these kind of events together, AWE, CES, the huge events that happen every year, it takes them all year to get sponsorship lined up. So these were really proactive leaders, not just financially. I mean, we reached out to them and they turned it around very quick in the sense of a conference like this to be able to help. And they proactively took it upon themselves to go out and make this happen for us. We thank them from the bottom of our hearts. Sakurai, next slide. And then, of course, we couldn't do a lot of this. A lot of the terrific content came from our online safety agency supporters. The eSafety Commissioner, have to thank Julie again and her incredible team. It's just her presentation was out of this world. Didn't get a chance to catch it. I would definitely watch the recording. But her entire team, you know, oftentimes if you never work with government agencies, there can be a lot of red tape or seems like it, but their team was so easy to work with and getting all the content together and the presentation. And Julie was just an amazing presenter. So we want to definitely thank them, as well as NHS and the Health Education England, who are on Medical XR, or the Medical Day, and that was just terrific. They had 2 different representatives and panels, and they went out of their way to really, add a lot of positive content to the conversation.
Yeah, and just one thing about Julie Inman-Grant, who's the eSafety Commissioner of Australia. We heard from Senator Mark Warner as well today. So in the United States, in Australia, there is this, the sense that we past few congressional hearings we may have gotten is that regulators don't understand technology, whereas what we saw with the people that we brought to the table or were able to support us and come to the table, they do understand technology. And on top of that, they're willing to create this open dialogue and two-way street. So that's another thing. When I heard Julie's conversation and the keynote talking about how haptics, virtual reality, augmented reality, about risk, it is too clear. It's very obvious that eSafety Commissioner gets it. They were the first regulators, online regulators, that used our diversity and inclusion coalition's immersive technology standards to create their immersive technology positioning statement for the entire country. And so this tells us, and that was done about a year ago. And now they, came over and said, game on, safety in the metaverse matters, all of the stuff, all of the tools to provide support to create safety, e-safety tools, etc. I really have to give major shout out to Julie Inman-Grant, who is leading this effort to make sure that we remain safe in the metaverse, and I really applaud that.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'll even just say, like this thing, our very first talk of the morning, the Gremlins and Guardrails, they talked about it. So while you might not think the regulators care about it, they work with them directly, and it was very clear that there's a hunger out there that they do want to know about it. The policymakers and changers, they want to be a part of this. So the fact that we have a voice now, or able to start pushing that forward, is terrific for the future. Right, next slide. We also want to thank our tech partners. If you love this space, you can thank Chicken and Waffle. They developed this incredible outside or inside facility we use throughout the week. So thank you to Finn and his team at Chicken Waffle. Of course, we couldn't say it enough. Reflective Brands, that's Joshua, that's Nisha, that's Zachariah over here running slides, their whole team. They went out of their way to take care of the scheduling, social media posts, and so much of the coordination we did this week, so we have to thank them. Couldn't thank them enough. And then, of course, Media, if you were here for the opening keynote and Kavia's initial interview, we've been so blessed to be able to have them be able to bring the media and the attention and everything to that.
Exactly. Thanks, Laurie, for starting this real amazing media effort as well. Media is something that we do and lean on to establish our understanding of the next iteration of the internet. And she really cares about inclusion and mitigating the digital divide. And she's taken it upon herself to translate what it means to be in different, universes, metaverse, as well as technologies, mean and translation of it to the mass media. So look to her for this kind of a common understanding, and we will constantly exchange knowledge, because now she also is a part of the Metaverse Reality Check at Mercy. So that ways we also be able to exchange knowledge to her and get from her whatever understanding she gathers from, interfacing with all these top tech experts, companies, big tech corporations. So it's going to be a fantastic combination of advocacy, journalism, storytelling, while we just basically serve the community.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly right. Next slide. And then, of course, certainly not least, our community. These are the people that throughout the week have supported us, getting the word out, participating, coming here to the events. And just, this is really what you see up here. These are the people that are putting in time and effort to help make this event what it is. They're here during the planning, they're here for the event, and they'll be here going into next year as we continue to work on privacy, safety, and everything else that's critical, both to Metaverse Reality Check, XRSI, and all the other issues that really matter. And all the people up here represented have a personal love for this space and what we're building, and they have, they're putting their time and energy into it more than just, financially or anything else. So we definitely have to thank the community partners that helped us all week.
Excellent. And I think that's pretty much it. And now we just have to thank you, every one of you who stuck around throughout the week. And don't let this be just a week worth of we talk about safety and we go away and talk about it. We're right here. So anytime you have any issues related to safety or any concerns, comments, any kind of ideas that you, most importantly, anybody involved in research, because 2022 is going to be all about. So that's focused on. So anybody research or partner with us, that's what we're going to be mostly focused on. And so, yeah. Matt, I think you deserve a massive thank you. And so please take the last word. I'm going to move over here and however you want to close.
Thank you, Kavya. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you, Kavya. And thank you for inviting me to be a part of this, giving me the opportunity to be a program director. So it was an incredible experience. I have to say, the metaverse is something that I really care about, whatever we call it, mirror world, metaverse, whatever the final term we land on, I don't think matters. I really think it's about community, it's about communication, and I'm really passionate about responsible innovation and making sure that we build it the right way. So I think going forward, I really hope that XR Safety Week is just a springboard for everything else going forward. And as Kavya said, I'm a researcher by training. My consulting business works in this space. So I really want to see us move forward on the right foot. So we definitely invite anyone with research background, anyone that's interested in this space to reach out. Of course, the Metaverse Reality Check, get engaged there, sign up, be a citizen partner so you have your voice heard. It's going to make a lot of difference in the future. And then, of course, XRSI and all the wonderful things Kavya has brought up. I know I met Kavya literally 20 days after XRSI was formed at AWE several years ago. And from that friendship and getting to know her has grown now the 1.0 framework, 1.1 revision of the privacy framework. It's now getting international attention. And like she said, the eSafety Commission of Australia is using it as a blueprint. Other countries are taking part. As you saw, Senator Warner had a message. And I want to call out at the end of that video, he specifically said, please reach out to me. I want to be a part of this. And that's carries a lot of weight for a U.S. Senator to say, I'm engaged and I want to be a part of this. Please let my voice be heard. So I think it's just been wonderful. I think this is just a springboard. So I really look forward to 2022 and beyond and meeting a lot of you. Please don't hesitate. Follow us on Twitter and the other social media platforms and email any questions you have so we can keep answering the big questions. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this week. It's been a pleasure. Feel free to hang out for a little while, but the week is over. We're ready for 2022 and beyond.
All right. So proud. Seriously.
Woohoo!
Hearts all around.
Yeah.
High five, and we did it.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Been great.
Let's do a selfie. I wonder how that will come out. Ta-da.
Hey, Joshua even made it back. Your internet got fixed. I take it, or at least.
Yeah, I think it doesn't. The selfie doesn't take the background. Joshua, do you mind taking a picture for us with the background?
Oh, it's the background. Here, look.
That's cool.
Guys,
Even better.
I got you.
Yay!
Give me a big old cheese.
Yay! Cheese and hearts.
Nice.
All right. Anyone up for pictures? Pictures. This is the moment. Pictures.